What's happening, everyone? Ains here, Season Gaming, and we're back, yes, with another statue review. So, trying to get caught up on some things. I know I've mentioned in a few of my other videos that I got a bunch of statues to do and some other things. So today, as you can see in front of you, we're going to be looking at the Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. I've also got Ghost of Tsushima's Jin coming soon, as well as Doom Eternal's Doomslayer. Should be all within this week, pretty much, as you're watching this. So, first, we're going to talk about Aloy here. This is another Prime 1 Studio statue. It is the exclusive edition as always. Well, not as always, but most of the time. They made 1,000 of these, so according to the serial number on the top here, this is number 227. And this retails for $1,099. So obviously, once you start to get shipping from China or Hong Kong and tax wherever you live, you know, you're starting to get up into the $1,500 range for these statues. Now, if you've been around a long time and watching Season Gaming and checked out my other videos, you know that a few years ago when I did the Geralt statue from Witcher 3 from Prime 1, that was around $700. And I think at the time I talked about how that was more expensive and a higher quality than like the $400 or $500 sideshow statues we used to do, the 1:4 scale, same size as this. They've really started to creep up now. So they've started to creep up into the low thousands, some are $1,500, and they're getting very, very pricey. Now, part of the difference is just cost in general of things going up. The other difference is that they've gotten more intricate, and there's more in their base, there's more pieces, they're much more detailed, so there's more painting that has to be done, there's more that break, there's more, you know, production things that have to go on. So anyway, now that I've given you the context, we're going to do what we always do. So I'll start to unbox this, show you how it comes, the pieces it comes, and then later in the video I'll bring the camera in, give you a closer detailed look along with some high-res pictures of it as well. So why don't we go ahead and get to it. Okay, let's see what we got here. So if you've... feels like there's something in here. Why does this feel so heavy? I'm missing. Oh, there is. It looks like this may be sealed twice. Okay, so there's probably something in the top of this box. That happens. These things are usually packed differently, so things can be... bases can be separate. There's little pieces that you can actually sometimes miss. Now, anyone who has been watching the channel for a while knows I had a streak where I had about 3 statues in a row that had little pieces that were broken or kind of messed up. So super disappointing, especially when you wait for a long time for these things. So let's have our fingers crossed here that that doesn't happen again. A piece here. Go ahead and get everything out, and then we'll talk about the specifics. Okay, this is the key mold right here. And for those wondering, this is what they call the Shield Weaver set. So if you remember at the end of Horizon Zero Dawn, if you're familiar with the game, you could unlock a special shield, which kind of talked, it kind of had references to the core story, of course. And this is representative of that. What Prime 1's been doing with this license for the PlayStation characters and others is that they've been doing variants. So for instance, if you watch the channel, I did the God of War statue with Kratos and Atreus, and they're going to make variants of different armor sets and stuff. So typically what I do, I'm a big fan of Aloy as a character, and obviously Kratos and Atreus, but I kind of picked the variant that I like. So I really like the look of this, this model, which is why I went with this one. So right away, as usual, really high quality, very similar to what we've seen out of other Prime 1s. Very nice paint detail. There's some really intricate work, which I'll show when the camera's more up close around this armor set on her, which is really cool. Also, as we've seen in other ones too, the painting around the feet and kind of the lower boot here, the moccasin, if you will, is all sparkly, as if she's been in snow. So that's, you know, those little details are really nice. Bear with me, I need to be obviously very careful here to make sure you don't lean on anything that could put pressure on a wrong spot. Now, I was talking about how the pricing has gone up on things, and you know, they've become more intricate. This base is going to be a perfect example. So, you know, it used to be some of the older statues I have are literally just a flat black base, whereas this is almost a whole statue in and of itself. In fact, it's even bigger and heavier than the statue, really, because it goes without saying it's the base, right? Definitely got some weight to it, and I'm just trying to be careful because you never know. Sometimes you go to grab a piece of a statue and think it's kind of a solid piece and it's not, and you have problems. So there's some padding kind of spread through in here. We'll get that out shortly before I show you up close. But this has some weight to it. This has to be a good 20-25 pounds by itself. As you can see, Aloy Shield Weaver armor set exclusive, 226 out of 1,000. So let me go ahead and put this down, and we'll get the other pieces out of the side of this box as well. So let me go ahead and do that. Alright, so as you can see, like I said, almost all the extra pieces to the set are in this top layer here. So it just depends what the statues come with, you know, and how they package them. So this is going to be Aloy's head and hair, mostly hair. I always like to take a close look at the face because it's a very hard thing for you know, the painters to capture not only the mold but the kind of look of the character. I've been hit or miss. You know, usually they do a pretty good job because we're dealing with higher end statues here. This one is definitely really strong. It even has, you can even see her freckles. It has obviously the earpiece. Actually, it's on the right ear. It has a reflection in her eyes, and her cheeks are even a little blush or rose from being out in the cold, which is pretty damn impressive. So that's really neat. Go ahead and get all these pieces out. We'll get set up. It looks like there's multiple bows, so I'm gonna have to figure out what that's about. Little bow case. Extra ice crystals likely that go plug into here somewhere. I guess she needs her arms. Those will be handy. Got a little piece here, something. These are the types of things that you know, can kind of get dangerous when you're dealing with an expensive statue. Is you got this tiny little piece. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. Alright, take a look here, because there are definitely two bows, so I'm trying to figure out, I guess you can choose what bow she's holding. Maybe that's what the DX is. I actually forgot, I apologize, I forgot to look exactly what the difference between the DX exclusive is and what the non-exclusive is. So, she's got her spear. Like extra arrows here, and then you've got your two bows with actually a real string. The only thing, and I've mentioned this in other videos, the only thing it actually pulls. That's actually quite cool. So you can probably put the arrow in there and it'll look like it's actually drawn, which is cool. The only thing is all of this is beautiful. It's even got actual cloth and beads here, which is really neat. I wish the feathers were real. That actually would have been cool, but I guess they would have degraded over time. But anyway, what I was going to say is the only one where I've really seen like something that I truly adore in the detail is with the Geralt statue, because his swords were actually metal. They're actually metal swords, whereas I can't recall seeing that on another statue since. Looks like this bow is really same. So this is probably the Shield Weaver bow, and then you can have the normal bow. I'm not sure. But they both kind of have the string, they both have beads and everything hanging from them, so I guess you can kind of pick which one she's displayed with. So we'll get into that here shortly. Here's the arrows. Let me put this down. Alright. So as always, what I'm going to do here is kind of sort through these pieces. I'll piece it together and then kind of give you a look and then bring it in closer like I said. So let me get to it. Alright, we are back and Aloy is fully assembled. And I'm going to say right out of the gate, and I know I've said this many times before because I do a lot of these, it's maybe one of my favorite pieces yet. For a 1 to 4 statue, this is really damn impressive. And it goes back to what I was saying about the pricing, right? You can see where the money is starting to go as these statues get more and more complex and intricate, like I said. So let me walk through some of the details. I'm going to do this quickly because then I'm going to bring it in and actually, you know what? let me just go ahead and bring it in, because you got to see this thing up close, and I can give you a full kind of 360 view of it along with some high-res pictures. So give me a minute, I'll reset the camera and we'll go through it. All right, not the absolute best angle, but we're doing okay here because it's hard to get the scope and scale of this, you know, at different angles. But anyway, so as you can see a little closer now, tremendous detail on the statue. So let me walk around a few things for you. First of all, you know, you've got her perched up on here, and the seal between her foot and the way it sets in here, and obviously the elevated leg here, really well done. There's no gap, it fit perfectly. Same goes for her head, which goes into our scarf hair right here. I've talked about, I think it was Siri, a couple other statues where it just doesn't align when you put these pieces together perfectly, and when you're paying this much money, you obviously expect that to happen. On this, there's no problem. I picked this bow. It is, you know, your choice of two different bows here. I picked this one because I like the extra beads it has. These are all real beads. This is real string. It's got extra feathers, and I just thought it's really neat. You actually put this drawstring right in her fingers here, and then you can rest the arrow like you see there, and the arrow even has detail on it looking like shaded metal, so it's gorgeous. As you can see, kind of all her flair and her, you know, her outfit, the shield weaver armor, all those pieces are just beautifully painted. She's got actual rope right here, which is string as well, you know, for climbing. She's got her bow, and you put all these little arrows in right here. I'll spin it around in a second for you. And then, you know, the snow glitters. You've got these ice crystals. It's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. Her staff, as you can see too, I didn't mention, goes right in the ground right here, attaches. If I kind of turn that around and give you a better look at, you know, just how complex everything is, from her hair to all the detail here, the armor pieces, the quiver, and even around the backside here. You know, one thing they've done really well with these statues recently, as you can tell, is they kind of build up the back. So the base is very big, but it's built up at the back. So when you're looking at it at the front, it gives you the character, but, you know, kind of molded around, which creates this really nice, just kind of statue. I don't really know the word to use. It's just a really nice look. But I mean, you can even see the wiring in here. There's actually some crystals and snow on the metal here, which shines and sparkles. And the base obviously is a reference to Horizon as an IP itself. And I really like how they've done those kind of themed bases lately on their statues as well. So it's just gorgeous, man. This is really, really gorgeous. And I've got to say, I was talking at the beginning, like I said, around the price of these statues. And as I look at this compared to something like the old $400 or $600 1-to-4s, I mean, it's night and day. It's absolutely night and day. So the fact that this is $1,100 and it comes with the extra pieces, like I said, it doesn't really surprise me too much. And you're getting a beautiful kind of a beautiful piece that'll last, you know, forever, as long as you want it to, as long as you take care of it. So anyway, I've been talking for a while now. As always, you know, I really appreciate everyone checking these things out. If you have any questions, you know where you can find me. You can find me at Porsche Power on Twitter, or you can just leave a comment. I'll make sure to check and answer everything. I'll put some high-res pictures here shortly, right at the tail end of the video, if you want to see it even more up close and kind of high-res. Other than that, man, like I said, Prime 1 Studio, Aloy Shield Weaver set. And if you're a fan of Aloy, fan of Horizon as a franchise, and want to get into statue collecting, you could do a lot worse than starting with this piece. So thank you as always for tuning in to Season Gaming. Appreciate you. Shout out to all of our patrons who support our independent gaming journalism and get exclusive content. If you want to join the Season Gaming community, check us out on Discord, check us out on Patreon. Always happy to talk with everyone. And if you're tired of the clickbait nonsense and all the other console war BS that goes on, check us out. I think you'll like what you find. Until next time.